Welcome, everybody. Let's talk today about a reality that is hitting so many of you right now, right in the pocketbook. You are either retired or you are sitting there counting down the months until you can finally say goodbye to the 9 to 5. And you are looking at your expenses, looking at inflation, and you are feeling that pit in your stomach. The fear of running out of money. The fear of a sudden emergency, a broken furnace, a dental emergency, a sudden medical bill, wiping out your tight monthly budget before your next fixed check arrives. And because of that fear, you start looking around for tools. You see an app mentioned on TV or online called Payactiv. Maybe you have a part-time job in retirement to keep busy, or maybe you are still working your final years, and your employer offers it. You hear the phrase earned wage access, and you wonder, is this a safe harbor for a beginner, or is it a financial trap designed to drain what little you have left? I want you to take a deep breath. We are going to break this down right now with absolute clarity, because you cannot afford to make mistakes with your money at this stage of your life. First, let's understand exactly what Payactiv is, because the marketing language can sound confusing. Payactiv is not a bank, and it is not a traditional payday lender. It is a service that connects to your employer's payroll system. The core concept is simple. If you work hours on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you have earned that money. But traditionally, you don't see a dime of it until 2 weeks later on Friday. Payactiv steps in and says, why wait? They allow you to access up to 50% of the wages you have already earned right now before your actual payday. Now, when you hear that, if you are a sensible, careful person, which you must be to survive this economy, your alarm bells should be ringing. You're asking the right question. What is the catch? Is this a loan? Am I going to get trapped in an astronomical 400% interest rate cycle like a predatory payday loan? Let me set your mind at ease on that specific fear. No, it is not a loan. Because you are only taking out money you have already worked for, there is no interest rate. There is no hidden APR compounding in the background, waiting to take your home or ruin your credit score. If you take out $50 on a Tuesday to pay for groceries, Payactiv simply tells your employer, and when your actual paycheck is processed, that $50 is automatically deducted. You don't have to remember to send a check, and you don't get hit with a late fee. But do not confuse no interest with completely free. This is where beginners get tripped up, and this is where you have to protect yourself. Payactiv makes its money through transaction fees, and how much you pay depends entirely on how you use it. If you choose to have your earned wages transferred directly to a standard, regular bank account instantly, they can charge you a fee, usually up to $3.49 or $5 per transaction, depending on your employer's program. Now, $3 or $4 might not sound like a lot when you are in a pinch. But I want you to do the math with me. If you are accessing your pay 4 times a month and paying $4 each time, that is $16 a month. Over a year, that is nearly $200 flushed down the toilet just to access your own money a few days early. At this point in your life, every single dollar counts. You cannot afford to leak money on unnecessary fees. However, Payactiv does offer a way to use their service completely fee-free, and you need to know how this works if you decide to use it. They offer their own card, the Payactiv Visa prepaid card. If you choose to have your direct deposit sent to that card, or if you use that card to receive your wage advances, those transfers become free. They also pass along government direct deposits, like your Social Security benefits, up to 2 days early if you route them to that card. So, let's look at the real question you need to ask yourself. Should a retiree or someone about to retire actually use this tool? If you are working a part-time job in retirement to pay for your basic living expenses, or if you are transitioning into retirement and cash flow is incredibly tight, Payactiv can be a legitimate, safe buffer for genuine emergencies. If the choice is between paying a $3 fee to get your grocery money 2 days early versus bouncing a check at your bank and getting hit with a $35 overdraft fee, or worse, going to a predatory payday lender, then Payactiv is the vastly superior choice. It protects you from those devastating bank penalties that can derail a senior's fixed income. So, here is your actionable takeaway. Here is your battle plan for Payactiv. First, check with your employer to see if they even offer it. Payactiv is a workplace benefit. If your employer hasn't signed up for it, you cannot access the earned wage access feature on your own. that you can still sign up for their prepaid card independently for early direct deposit. Second, if you do use it, you must establish a strict rule for yourself. This is for emergencies only. A broken appliance, a medical prescription, a utility bill that is due before your pay cycle hits. Never, ever use it for everyday shopping or impulse purchases. Third, if you find yourself needing to use it frequently, you must sign up for the Payactiv Visa card to eliminate the transfer fees entirely. Do not let your hard-earned money get chipped away by $3 and $4 fees. And finally, use the free tools inside the app. Payactiv actually includes financial counseling, budgeting software, and prescription discount choices. If you are a beginner, ignore the temptation to just pull cash out and instead use their savings calculator to map out your upcoming bills. Remember, true financial freedom in retirement isn't about how quickly you can get your hands on your money. It is about knowing exactly where every dollar is going, keeping your expenses low, and ensuring that your future self is fully protected. You have worked too hard for too many years to let poor cash flow management take away your peace of mind. Be smart, use tools defensively, and keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket.